So today is my father's birthday, and I visited him for the first time with my family. It's the first time I got to introduce my family to him. Uh, my my dad was a pretty complicated man, I would say. He he didn't know how to be a dad. He didn't know how to open up. He was he always yelled. He would always sit and play cards and just watch TV. Pero yung quality time namin, he would play chess, play Scrabble, eat out. Pero yung pag-uusap, it wasn't there. He didn't know how. But even if he always yelled, even if we barely had a relationship, I really, really knew that he loved me. Without a doubt. Like, love was there. Why am I saying this? Like, I couldn't help but be emotional when I saw him. You know, the grave. I said, this is my family. This is my wife. This is your grandchild. I remember the day that I walked in when my dad died. He was already at home. He didn't have much longer. And it could have been any day. And I was out. I got home and I saw my brother, my kuya. He was crying. And I knew then that he passed now. I walked in. I wanted some time with him. Everyone was crying. I remember putting my hand over his head. Like this. And his body was cold now. And I said, I promise I'll make you proud. I said, I promise I'll make you proud. And when I saw him again at the grave, I said, I hope you're proud of me. And that I understand you. I understand you. He visited me out of dream. I woke up facing mountains. And it was like parang a lake and a garden. And nakaupo siya at the usual spot at the table, on top of the table with a long table, no long oblong table. And I remember going to him. He was sitting down, I was standing up. Nakaupo siya parang ako, and I looked to him. We didn't say anything, but we both cried so much. We both cried. Like, cried so much. Like we understood something now. We were sharing the same pain. We cried so much. It was a cry, really, and he cried. I've never seen him cry like that. Like that deep. I only saw him cry once when I almost drowned, and he cried and he saved me. Because I almost drowned. And we cried so much. As if we understood the same pain we were going through. Because I think me and him, we had similar wounds. Siyempre, tatay ko siya is my dad. And I told him, you can rest now. In my dream, I said, you can rest now. Why am I sharing all of this? If you have parents and they're complicated, they're dysfunctional, may mga pagkukulang sila. Sabi nga nila, walang perpektong magulang at wala ding perpektong anak. If you know that they love you, maski sa mga pagkukulang nila. I saw a post about Mel Robbins. Sabi nila, if you accept your parents, when I say accept, hindi ko sinasabi hindi mo pwedeng pag-usapan ang mga pagkukulang nila. That's okay. What I meant is if you accept them, meaning hindi mo na kailangan silang baguhin. Sana naging ganito kayo. Ito yung pagkukulang ko. Kailangan ko maging ganito ka. If you just accept them where they are. Granted that they love you, na alam mong mahal ka nila, they're just not perfect. They're complicated. They're dysfunctional. They don't know how to do this. They don't want to look into their issues so that they can change. They are just where they are. And because of that, may pagkukulang sila. Accept. You will have such an easier time if you accept them. Meaning you don't try to change them. Tanggap mo lang sila. Because kung tanggap sila, if you accept your parents, you will meet them where they are. You're gonna see who they really are. Makikita mo sila. You will see them. Not who you want them to be, who they are. And you will take it from there. Meaning, dyan kayo magsisimula. Alam kong ganito ka, tanggap kita. Diyan kayo magsisimula. And maybe it would lead to other things. But it's so hard to try to connect with someone you are trying to change, regardless if that's your parents. Kasi hindi mo tanggap. Right? I'm sure makaka-relate kayo dyan. That's all I'm saying. Because what I would give, with all his imperfections, sa lahat ng pagkukulang niya, to be able to talk to my father, to be able to see him, to be able to introduce him to my wife, and for him to see his grandchild, and for me to tell him, tanggap kita. I know, Dad, Abba, I understand, don't worry. I accept you, I meet you where you are. I meet you where you are. Let's talk. I know you love me. And I just want to talk. With all his imperfections. What I would give to have that, as imperfect as he is. That's all I'm trying to say while they're there. From someone who wishes that his father can see him now. Who wishes that he can just be able to accept him, be able to accept him. Happy birthday, Abba. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Now, I say this with responsibility. I say respect. I say accept your parents. Because I want to be responsible. I know this is an emotional post and I'm sharing something very emotional. But I also want to be responsible. I've been saying, granted that there's love there. They're dysfunctional. There's love. But there's love. May pagkukulang sila pero alam mo na mahal mo sila. This advice and what I'm sharing applies to you. But if you have a parent where there is no love there and it's all hurt, toxicity, what I'm saying is if you have a parent who's a narcissist, then that's a different story. Because there's no love with a parent who's a narcissist, and I share this from experience, I share this from stories, and I see. You learn a lot by observing parents, especially during weddings. If you have a narcissist as a parent, then that's a different story. Then please choose to hold your boundaries. Choose to still be a loving person. Choose to hold your boundaries and distance yourself, because that's the only thing you can do, diba? How can you love someone who only loves themselves? How can you love someone who will never feel guilty of what he or she did to you? as a father, as a mother. How? Then you protect your peace. You protect your peace and you do it the most loving and kindest way possible para hindi ka magbago. You're still a loving person. This applies to narcissists as parents. Like, we've had a recent wedding issue where you can obviously see a narcissistic parent. I know you guys know who you're talking about with that dad, with that father. No need to name names. But mahirap. So I'm also clearing this up to be responsible with what I'm saying. But if there is love there, okay, if there is love there and they're not perfect and they're dysfunctional, marami silang pagkukulang, accept them so you can meet them where they are. At diyan kayo mag-umpisa. Because life is short. I would give anything to have my yelling, dysfunctional father just here again so I could just... That's all I'm saying. It's just very well-meaning advice. Well-meaning, just coming from someone who has lost his father and just visited him on his grave on his birthday. Happy birthday, Abba. I love you. Happy birthday. Watch over us. Happy birthday.